I have a little small confession to make. I have never watched ReZero up until recently. I literally started at the beginning of the year. Me saying I don't know what it's about, that'd be false though, because I have, back then when it first came out, the first season, I used to see all the memes for the I Love Amelia, and I used to hear how bad Subaru used to like suffer, and that he would come back to life every time he died. So basically, yeah, I knew the premise and stuff. But yeah, I would only watch clips of ReZero back then and stuff. And then I thought that I would start it this year, and I started it. Now I'm hooked, and I'm realizing why I didn't binge watch it when it came out years ago. But yeah, everybody likes to say Echidna is the best girl, but I personally, I don't know, because I really like Echidna, but I have a hard time choosing who's the best girl or not, whether it's her or Frederica, because I really like Frederica too. But my first favorite female character of this show, when I watched season one, it was Ram. I always liked Ram better than Ram. For some reason, I was like one of the few people that prefers Ram over Ram. I just like Ram's personality better. I think she's way more funnier, especially with her season one's interactions with Subaru. Basically, how she'd always used to insult him. Remember when she said that Subaru and Otto are half a man? I don't know how to pronounce his name, whether it's Otto or Odo. But this is a review video, so let's get into the review. Zero, episode 10, season 2, part 2. The episode starts and Amelia finishes her trial, and the village people, they're waiting for her on the outside. But obviously Amelia can't stay with them, she has something to do. So she left one of them in charge to protect everybody else while she headed over to where Roswald. But yeah, she headed over to where and where Ram's corpse is. I don't know if I should call it a corpse or not because I don't know if she's fully dead yet, but he's trying to revive her and he's basically freezing while trying to do it because it's snowing. But he doesn't really care. It's like he's not even there mentally, emotionally no more. He's just a shell trying to heal Ram. He's like holding her. But am I tripping or did Ram get her demon horn back? Because when she grabbed the glossary from Roswald, I could have swore I seen a demon horn. I only watched the episode once, so I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me. Is it even possible for you to get your demon horn back? Because the day, like, since season one day, when we seen Ram's backstory and how we know that Ram lost her horn because of Ram. Yes, basically because of Ram. But they said she lost her demon horn when she was younger and that she's not as strong. Basically, she's not as strong as she's supposed to be. And since that, I always thought, what if can it not grow back? Like, is demon not in her DNA? Can't she just grow back another horn? Or what if the Onis could grow back horns, but the twins can't because you know how the twins share basically the horns because each of them having one. I don't know, really, just something to think about. But basically, Amelia is trying to get Roswald back to his senses because she sees the state that he's in. And while that's happening, what's it called again? It's the rabbit. It's a name for it. The Ma Beast. What's it called? The Infinite Rabbit? I don't know. I know, but the rabbit showed up. The mansion ended up burning and starting to burn down because of Subaru's fight with the Ma Beast. Oh yeah, Elsa died this episode. But before we talk about that, let's talk about Rem and Ram both loving somebody and them being okay to be put behind somebody else. Like Rem being okay with Subaru loving Amelia and Roswald loving Echidna and Rem not really caring if Roswald sees her as nothing but a tool. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to talk about because it doesn't really tell you this in the episode, but I read somewhere that Roswald wasn't trying to heal Ram because he loves her and stuff like that. And he was probably healing her because he regretted what he did, and Ram is just always going to be a useful person to him or for him. I also heard that in the light novel, Elsa wasn't supposed to be dead, or she wasn't supposed to die to Garfield by getting squashed by the hippo thing that Melee was on. Oh, well, I wouldn't really say she wasn't supposed to die like that because she was a zombie when she was chasing him. They said she was supposed to be chasing him around the mansion because that's how it happened in a light novel. And when Subaru reached the last door to get to Beatrice, He shuts the door on Elsa, and that was supposed to be her last scene, not her being flattened like a pancake like we've seen. This kind of shows us how strong that Garfield is, because not only did he fight Elsa and win, he also killed Melly's pet by ripping its head off, twirling it with his bare hands. There was a funny interaction with him and Frederica, because when he seen her, he never really recognized her properly, because he even asked her, "Are you even my sister?" Because she's so huge. I want to talk about Frederica's beast transformation and Garfield's beast transformation, because when Garfield transformed, he looks more like a tiger, but then when she transforms, she looks like a fox. Is this due to their different dads or something? Or is it due to Garfield being a boy and Frederica obviously being a girl? Or is it just they're not supposed to look alike in their transformation? Not only is Garfield strong, but Frederica's strong too, because she was facing off against Elsa as well in the episode. But I feel like Garfield is stronger because he said that. He's the one that told her to that she didn't really have to fight as well, because he wasn't trying to worry about her. That just shows you how strong he is compared to her. I honestly expected her to be the stronger one. But yeah, let's talk about what everybody else is talking about. Let's talk about the choose me scene, because that was beautiful. Subaru keeps trying to get into Beatrice's secret library. Every time he gets into it, they have a little talk, then she kicks him out because he says he's not that person who Echidna told Beatrice to wait for 400 years ago. But Subaru, he knows he's that person, but I don't think he knows he's that person. But obviously he's that person, because who else is that person but Subaru? But he tells her that he's not that person, so she gets mad and kicks him out. She keeps kicking him out, and he keeps coming back till eventually all the doors in the mansion, you can't get through them no more because it's burning down. Then he knows one more door, and then that's the door that he goes through, which is also the door that Elsa was supposed to meet her last. I don't even know how he convinces to make Beatrice make a contract with him. And I don't know how he convinces her to just not let the Forbidden Library burn with the mansion, which she was going to do. But yeah, the scene was so good. Instead of asking him to save her, instead of saying "Oh, I'm that person for you, I'll save you," he comes to her, and instead wanting him to be saved by her, it comes he hands his hand out, and yeah, it's a little emotional scene, and then she agrees to it. But throughout the scene, she keeps saying even if she joins him, his life is going to be over in a blink of an eye compared to her life. And we know this is Subaru, so it's not like we know he's going to for sure go old and die. And then after that, she'll just be left lonely again. But he says that he's going to be so great that even after death, she'll still not be alone, if that makes sense. They join hands, and then they travel to all the way to where Amelia and the rabbits are to protect her, I guess, because that was right when they got there, you can see that she's starting to exhaust herself. Beatrice tells him to not blame her for what happens next, and the episode ends right there. And now I gotta wait till the next episode comes out, because I want to talk about that too, because ReZero is just... I was like, I never knew how much I was missing out on until I watched it this year. I always knew ReZero was a cool anime, but I never really had that much interest inside of it, because I never really liked isekais. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt like isekais are fake. You're not even in your own reality. It didn't even interest me that much. However, I do like The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. That is a good anime. But most of the times when I'm watching isekais, it's like you got transported to this random world for no reason whatsoever. Especially when I watched ReZero's first season. I seen the first episode. I see him going to the grocery store, buying groceries, walking out, then all of a sudden he's transported into this random world. No explanation whatsoever. But it's still so interesting for me, because I know that we're gonna get the explanation as to why he was transported into that world, and why Satella is so obsessed with him and stuff. It's also depressing to think about you being a main character, you getting transported into a different world. It could be 400 years from the future, 400 years in the past, a parallel world to that one, or whatever. And then it's you just leave all these people behind, and I read somewhere that the author of this show, ReZero, they said that Subaru's parents in the real world got depressed because of his disappearance. But of course, everybody remembers the episode Subaru's trial. Of course, I remember that because it was in this season, where Subaru woke up and he was back in his real world, and we seen his parents. I wanted more of that, but not a trial. If we couldn't get flashbacks of Subaru's life before he got transported into this world, can you at least show me Subaru's parents being depressed that their one son is gone? Is that too much to ask for? I know that sounds evil, but I want to see it. Literally every single isekai I watch, I expect them to show me, I don't know, clips of how the world that they left is doing without them or whatever. That's kind of why I don't really like isekais like that, but I guess if the isekai is interesting enough, I wouldn't really care about their life outside of the isekai world, because all the information that I'm watching already would be satisfying enough. Just like this, I kind of stopped caring about his life outside this world because there's just so much going on in this show. And it's gonna get better from where we're at, I guess. But anyways, this is the end of the video. Like if you like, subscribe if you're new, want more content from me, and peace.